before we get started, let's check out the links in my description. We all want nice things. We want the car, we want a house, we want a high limit credit card. But if you don't have at least a 680 credit score, you're not even in the game. So click this link here to know where you stand and get your free credit scores from all three bureaus. That will be Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And also get your reports. If you would like to be free and become financially independent through entrepreneurship, click this link here to be free. If you'd like to get Cashback, which is a discount during shopping, please click this link here to see my favorite cashback sites. And if you enjoy the music you hear in the background, please click the link here and subscribe to It's Oasis. Hello everyone, welcome back to Community Wealth. Today we're going to get into a story on what I like to talk about, which is about credit. Now, it's not a good story, but it's getting into more where I like to lean to because I personally like this financial product. So I think I can talk a little bit about it. I'm not an expert in it, but I like what it does, so I can tell you my take on this product that's being affected. And it's with Wells Fargo. If you haven't heard about Wells Fargo, I'm going to get into a couple of articles that talk about what Wells Fargo is doing right now. But because it's about credit, and I know a little bit about credit, I'm going to suggest that if you want to get access to credit products, financial products with your financial institution or with any financial institution, that way you can qualify for all types of financial products from just about any financial institution, click the credit monitoring link in the description below so you can start working on your credit. You'll be able to see your score from all three credit bureaus. You'll be able to see the reports from all three credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And you will know where to start when you want to dispute certain things and get your credit scores back up so you can qualify for these financial products, including the ones like in this article. But without further ado, let's get into the article. Here it is. Wells Fargo closing personal lines of credit could impact customers' credit scores. Now that's significant because what the personal line of credit is, it's similar to a credit card, but in my opinion, it's much better. Because with credit cards, even if you got a $50,000 line of credit, well, on a credit card, well, let's just say the credit card is $20,000. You need to take out a cash advance. You know, with cash advances, there are certain fees. There are special fees with cash advances. So just swiping your card, buying things, you may get as high as maybe a 26% interest rate, which is cool because I can show you how not to pay interest. I haven't paid interest on a credit card in years. So, well, we'll get into that part later. But let's just say you're going to pay it normally, right? At 26% interest rate, that's fine. But if you get a cash advance, that interest rate can go up to 35%. On top, you're going to have a cash advance fee. So there's a default rate for the cash advance. So it's a cash advance fee, plus there's a cash advance interest rate, and also you only can take out about 50% of your credit line. So you want to get a cash advance on your $20,000 credit card, you're only going to be able to take out $10,000. All right. Now every financial institution is different, but for the most part, around about, you can take out up to 30 to 50%. And some of them have like a graduating situation where you can get up to like 75% over time. They just want to see how you handle the credit. But in general, with a credit card, you only can take out 50% of the credit limit. So your credit limit is $20,000, you only can take up to $10,000. All right. On top of, you have a higher interest rate of like 35% or something like that, crazy. And you have a cash advance fee on top of that. That's just on the higher end. You have credit cards where you only get like 8, 9, 10% interest rate, and so your cash advance interest may be like 15, 16%. But nevertheless, you still have that cash advance fee, and you still have that cash advance limitation of up to 50% of your credit limit. Okay. Personal lines of credit is different. Personal lines of credit is similar to a credit card in the fact that you don't get charged unless you use it. With a loan, once you get that loan, you charge for the whole loan. You charge for the whole thing as soon as you get it. They offer you a $50,000 loan, you charge for that $50,000 loan. If you charge for a $50,000 line of credit, you're not charged until you use any amount of that $50,000 line of credit. So if you only use $5,000, you only charge interest on that $5,000. And most lines of credit, you don't have a card to go swipe. You have to use checks, or you have to do a transfer or withdrawal. So or in any other instrument. Let's just say like a money order or a bank check or something. So you have to use that against the line of credit account. But a lot of times it's easy to just transfer it, right? So that's the difference between a line of credit and a credit card. I like the lines of credit because there's no limitation on how much you can use. If you have a $50,000 line of credit, you can use $50,000 line of credit, and there's no fees and things like that, and no default interest rates, nothing like that. Okay, so that's why the line of credit is great. So if I, most of you know that I have, tax lien properties. So when I get started on working on them, I'll like to use the personal line of credit or the business line of credit. I like to use that because, like I just said, you can use up to the full amount and there are no default rates. Okay. And so that's why the personal line of credit is better to me than a credit card. The credit card is great for everyday use. And if you need it for cash advance, you do have it. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this article. Wells Fargo customers will have to find another bank for personal lines of credit as the financial services company ends all of theirs and warns of impacted credit scores. So they're closing all personal line of credits. Everybody within Wells Fargo that have a line of credit is going to be closed. That doesn't say anything about business line of credit, but all personal line of credits are going to be closed. Bam, it's gone. If you had $75,000 in line of credit, it's going to be gone. All right. Now, again, it doesn't say anything about business lines of credit, so I don't know if they're going to close those as well eventually. But this is one reason why I never liked Wells Fargo. I just never liked them. Even a few years ago when I heard about that situation with the fake bank accounts, I didn't like Wells Fargo. I mean, I never thought, hey, Wells Fargo, I want to go open up an account with them. I never thought about that. Every time I saw Wells Fargo, I just had a bad taste about it. I just said, bad feeling. I don't want to go there. When I have walked in there with other people or did transactions for certain things, they were nice and friendly, like most banks. You look around, it looks like a good bank. And I know Wells Fargo been around for years and they're a large bank, but I never thought of opening an account. Even when they gave me information about, hey, you should open up an account. We have this deal. They was giving, I think, $200 for a checking account, something like that. I still never thought, hey, let me open up an account with Wells Fargo. Just never thought about it. But anyway, the bank has sent letters to customers notifying them that all existing personal lines of credit will soon cease to exist. Wells Fargo recently reviewed its product offerings and decided to discontinue offering personal and portfolio line of credit accounts and close all existing accounts. The credit lines, which let people borrow between $3,000 and $100,000, were meant to help avoid overdraft fees and consolidate higher interest credit card debt, according to the outlet. The bank said in the letter that scrapping the credit lines would enable it to instead prioritize credit cards and personal loans. But the closures, according to Wells Fargo letter, could cause issues for customers. In a frequently asked questions section of the notice, the company said the closures were final and may have an impact on your credit score, according to CNBC. Senator Elizabeth Warren took to Twitter Thursday afternoon to condemn the way the move is being handled. Not a single At Wells Fargo, customers should see their credit score suffer just because their bank is restructuring after years of scams and incompetence, tweeted Warren. Sending out a warning simply isn't good enough. Wells Fargo needs to make this right. And I agree. If all of these years you had this line of credit, and all of a sudden you say, well, you know what? We don't want to do it anymore. Too bad. But you know what? It's going to infect your credit score. That's not right. That just seems crazy. Because what happens is you have this line of credit that you've been using, and let's just say it's at the max of $100,000. So when they take it off the books and close your account, well, I should say close your account and take it off the books, that $100,000 is not showing on your credit report anymore. That can have a serious impact. I mean, a big drop. We're talking about as high as 26, 27, 30, 40, 50 points, depending on where your credit score is at. All right. So all that work you did to get there is just going to be jeopardized because of this. It's not fair. But do they really care? You know, they're trying to fix their books again. So do they really care about that? You know. We realize change can be inconvenient, especially when customer credit may be impacted, a Wells Fargo spokesman told CNBC after it published news of the move, noting the bank is committed to helping each customer find a credit solution that fits their needs. Customers were given a 60-day notice about the forthcoming closure and were told the remaining balances mandate regular minimum payments at a fixed rate, contrary to the product's initial variable interest rate, the company told CNBC in a statement. Amid the coronavirus pandemic, Wells Fargo has had to make some changes, including backing away from certain products, due also to limitations from the Federal Reserve and offloading assets and deposits, according to CNBC. I know Wells Fargo, is one of the ones that looked at me for an auto loan, and I'm glad I didn't do it. I think I want to say I had a Wells Fargo auto loan some years back. I can't recall. It was something with a W. I don't know if it was Wells Fargo. It was W and it had a red logo. So it could have been Wells Fargo. I'm not sure. I don't remember, that was so long ago. But if I did have a Wells Fargo auto loan, I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't walk into the bank and get it. It was probably from when I went through the situation with the auto dealer, when they were just running my information through their system to see if they can catch a loan. So it's probably one of those situations if I did have a Wells Fargo loan. It could have been something else with a W. But while I was reading this article, I was thinking about it, but could have been. So I guess I don't have to go through the other article because it talks about Elizabeth Warren here. But again, Elizabeth Warren is correct. It shouldn't have an effect on the customer because you decide you want to do something that's going to impact their credit. There should be a letter sent out to the credit bureaus stating as such. Now, again, what I did when the states went about the situation with Santander, I just printed the Attorney General's information from the website, and so I just sent that letter into CFPB, and I sent it to the credit bureaus and said, hey, look, this shouldn't be on my credit. This ain't got nothing to do with me. This is not my fault. And it took care of that pretty much. The collection was gone, and Santander's account balances got turned to zero, and it changed from a repossession to just a regular charge-off. Again, you might say, but you still have a charge-off on your credit report. But remember, there's no balance. It says zero balance. So it looks like a paid charge-off. So that looks pretty okay. It's not great, but it looks okay. All right. So I would print the letters and send them in to CFPB and send those in to the credit bureaus and just see what happens. You never know. They might say, okay, yeah, we know about that, and take actions to take it off your credit report. So now it won't have a massive impact. Now, again, the impact it will have is the fact that amount is gone. So that's $100,000 just gone from your credit report. Now what you could do is withdraw all the money. Of course, you're going to say, but I'm going to get charged for that. But I mean, hey, what you do is, this is what I would do. This is me. I would open up another line of credit somewhere else. And then I'll just use that to pay it down. All right. Because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have, what you want to do is you want to have that amount kind of, cancel each other out, which is kind of what I did with the auto loan when I had that situation with Santander. Now I got a new auto loan, which is actually almost double the size of the Santander loan. I won't say it cancels it out, but it cancels out that impact. It doesn't have that great of impact anymore because now I got this new auto loan on there. So now what you can do is you can have another line of credit to try to cancel that out. So you won't just have this big number going from your credit report. You kind of replaced it with another number. It probably won't be as big, but if you got good enough credit, you can do that. Or you can just take some of that money out before they actually close it, and you can open up a secured line of credit with the cash. See what I'm saying? That when you pull that cash out, they'll just increase it to an unsecured. Right? So now you use the actual cash, but now they flipped it to an unsecured. So now you don't have to worry about that cash anymore. All right? They're pretty much giving you the cash back, and they're giving you an unsecured line of credit. Understand? But anyway, hope you got some information from this and it helped you out. And I hope I was clear on some things. If I'm not, just drop a question in the comment section and I'll try to answer it for you. But again, thanks for watching. Like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Check out those links in the description. Remember, we're talking about credit. So you want to get your credit together so you can qualify for financial products. Not have to worry about the government. And you have other place to go other than some place like a Wells Fargo that messes you over. You can get high limits of credit cards in about 60 seconds. You can qualify for auto loans. Again, personal lines of credit. You can qualify for mortgages. And you can start just by clicking the credit monitoring link in the description below and get your scores from all 3 credit bureaus and your reports. Now you will know where you're at, what you need to do as far as disputing, or going to do-it-yourself credit repair playlist, and you can see how to dispute these negative items on your credit report. Right, so just click the credit monitoring link in the description below, sign up, get your three credit scores and 3 reports from the 3 bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You want to make some extra money, so you can go ahead and start working on that credit. You can go ahead and click the Wealth Dasher link in the description below. Use your vehicle to dash around town, make $500 to $1,000 plus per week. And if you don't have a vehicle, you don't want to use your personal vehicle, you can go to Wealth Hire Car and use their vehicle to drive around and make $500 to $1,000 plus per week. And while you're making that cash, you can go ahead and get cash back on items you want to purchase by clicking the Cashback link in the description below. And you can see my favorite cashback sites where you can get upwards of over $1,000 plus cash back a year. You want to learn how I got 5 properties for $5,500? Click the Be Free link in the description below. And as always, until the next video, let's get this money.